Hello everybody, welcome to your weather today. My name is Mr. G, your weather forecaster, and we are going to be taking a look at the national radar from coast to coast. We're going to zoom in on the nation's trouble spots and where we're seeing some interesting weather, and we're going to get started with this video in the northern plains and the upper Midwest, where we have our first and only snowstorm of the year that we've seen taking place right now. So let's zoom in and take a good look at what's going on up there. Okay, the first stop on our trip is going to be across the upper Midwest and the northern plains, where we have our first snowstorm of the season, and we're looking at some very heavy snow moving across the border from Iowa into southeastern Minnesota and central Wisconsin over here. So if you're in, like, say, Toma or La Crosse, you're looking at heavy snow moving into your area, and then across the Mason, Iowa, and Albert Lee, Minnesota, Rochester. If you're down across southeastern Minnesota, if you're on Highway 61, you're going to be seeing heavy snow moving into your region, and I think that's going to be remain mostly east of the Twin Cities. That piece of action is going to be headed mostly across Wisconsin and up towards Lake Superior. But I think the majority of this batch of heavy snow is going to miss the Twin Cities by the most part. It may affect maybe Dakota County, Northfield, Lakefield, maybe Woodbury, the easternmost counties of the Twin Cities. We might see some of that scrape by you, but for the most part, we're seeing this area. But we're watching right here, we're seeing it starting to fill in a little bit, so that's a good sign for that snow to continue, as we're starting to see that dry air is beginning to saturate and is filling in here over southwestern Minnesota, and we're going to see that snow continue, and eventually we're going to see what's down here. And this is mostly rain, as we have a freeze-thaw line right about there, right about the border with Minnesota and Wisconsin. But that is going to live further north as the evening wears on, because that warm air is coming up from the south. But we're going to see a lot of the snow change over to rain late tonight, so that's going to continue. But we're looking at about 6 to 10 inches of snow. But what I'm seeing out there right now is the snow is not very fluffy. It's very slushy, so it's not really piling up very nice, because it's kind of flattening out and melting as it hits the ground. Temperatures are right about freezing, about 32 degrees out there across the Twin Cities. So we're not looking at a really healthy snowfall on the ground out there, but it's sticking really nice on the grass. But I'm glad that it's going a little bit easy on the roadways, so that's a bit of good news. So that is a look across the upper Midwest and the northern plains, where we're looking at snow all across the north country here, and we're going to see that rain and maybe even some rumbles of thunder coming up here across the border as well. So if you are in southeastern Minnesota and western Wisconsin, don't be so surprised if you hear some rumbles of thunder or see some flashes of lightning. It's the kind of lightning that you thought you might have saw lightning. You saw a flash but wasn't really sure, because it's not as easy to make out when it's snowing, because the snow makes it blurry, so all you see is just a white flash. So you're not really sure, but you might see some flashes of lightning out there occasionally with some thunder, as we have some convection. This is convective activity coming across the border with Iowa right now. So let's take a look at our next area of inclement weather, and we're going to go just a little bit further south of this region across the plains, where we are looking at some thunderstorms down across the south that could produce some severe weather and large hail. So now we are further south across the plains here. You see some thunderstorms right about here over parts of eastern Colorado and western Kansas, western Nebraska, as well as western Oklahoma, and we're looking at showers and thunderstorms coming up. And if you see these 1s and 2s there, that's hail that's being measured. So the radar is indicating 1 to 2 inch diameter hail in these regions, and we're looking at some more rain and hail in these areas of thunderstorms as well. So a lot of thunderstorms out there, especially further to the south. And these thunderstorms will impact the amount of snow that we see up here across the North Country. And that could also help to limit the snow because the thunderstorms suck up all the moisture and it blocks it from transporting further north. So it's not feeding into our snow band because a lot of that moisture is being diverted by these thunderstorms further down to the south. So we'll see how that all play out overnight. So now let's go and see if we can find another area that is having some interesting weather to talk about in this video before we wrap things up. Okay, so much of the rest of the country is pretty quiet right now, but we're going to come way down here to the south to Texas, where we got some severe thunderstorms producing some hail down here across northwestern Texas. But we also have some rain showers and some storms developing over parts of Louisiana down here as well, and maybe southern Arkansas. We're looking at some rain showers and that could produce some flooding here. And this here is a severe thunderstorm. This is where we have a marginal risk area for severe thunderstorms. So we're going to see the potential for severe weather, and we're going to definitely see the amount of rainfall down here across Louisiana increase, especially into your day tomorrow. So that is a look at the interesting weather right now across the country. Much of the rest of the country is having pretty decent weather, and it's always interesting to me that when the weather is bad here in the north, it's good everywhere else. So that's really something interesting for me to ponder. So thank you for watching this video. Leave your likes, comments, feel free to subscribe, and I will see you guys all tomorrow in the next video. So have a good evening and a great day tomorrow. Bye-bye.